Have you ever avoided taking an ambulance because you could not afford it? The ambulance is not your taxi to the hospital. What in the goddamn hell is it then, sir? Mount Everest isn't in America? Wait, what? I just googled it. I'm so confused. I thought that was the thing with the white men carved into it. What's that one called? Girl, the Washington Monument. What the frick is a kmh? Kilometers per hour. It's a measure of speed. It's what the rest of the world uses. Oh, you mean the rest that don't have a flag on the moon? I see. America, where we can remove a wall with a utility knife. Europe, where you can't buy a utility knife. America, where they have no idea what Europe is like. I mean, they're pretty close. Preparing for my vacation in USA. Let us know when you have hot water. I wish I lived in a city where I didn't need a car. Move to Europe. Plenty cities where you can live without owning a car. Europe sucks. It's like stepping back in time 30 years. No tech, no food, no chains, no hotels that aren't mum and pop tiny. It's fine to visit, but that's about it. When you traveled all the way to Europe for the pizza, and they don't have ranch, and you have to cut it yourself. Europe is not a theme park. Sorry, not drinking tap water. Europe is a really small place when compared to the US, and I think all of Europe would fit in the state of Texas, and would definitely fit into Alaska. Get this man a geography book. This is legitimately my headcanon for Fallout. Europe's recovered and just confused about America. Europe doesn't even have gasoline or electricity right now. Yeah, I've been lying to you guys this whole time. I'm in America recording videos, not UK. The USA has back-to-back World War wins. You really think they stand a chance against us? Bro, study history, please. Panama has gun control, and it's wonderful. Go to Panama if you want this. This is America. I am in Panama. This is Facebook. Americans are foreign now? Yeah, foreign when they're in another country. Do you not think as an American you're not foreign when in another country? Anyone is foreign when they're in another country. All the Americans wanting to move to Europe don't. Why would I want to move to Europe of all places? Zero freedom. That's the spirit. POV. You wake up as a Viking king on execution day. One of these are my ancestors. Swedish. Doubt it. Where is it normal for a biological woman to have hairy armpits? Literally everywhere on Earth? Not here in America, it's not. I hate to break it to you, but American women also have armpit hair? They do not. Do you guys consider 23 minutes a walking distance? 23 minutes is a hike. Okay, this is a troll. Extreme heat. Excuse me? It's in Celsius? No, it's in degrees. The French also don't have a word for entrepreneur. That word is in French. That is the French word for it. And I learned that just after reading this. Just got my 39k hospital bill for having a stroke at 34. What do you actually do in situations like this for people who can't afford it? Does this just like completely ruin your life and cripple your finances forever? Are you supposed to do something with your insurance, people? Because I feel like most people just can't afford that. France's new high-speed trains were just revealed and they look incredible. Probably paid for by American taxpayers. POV, the cops at your school sit on lifeguard chairs to watch the fights at lunch. How much does a ticket even cost? In a third world country like Spain, probably €1. Spain isn't a third world. So why are people getting stabbed randomly on the streets all around Europe? Well, doesn't stuff like that happen in America too, but with guns? There are crazy people everywhere. It doesn't really matter if they're from a first or third world country. But I guess there is more crime in certain countries than others. There has never been another nation, ever, that has existed much beyond 250 years. Not a single one. America's 250th year is 2025. The next 4 years are going to be pretty interesting, considering everything that's already been said. My local pub is older than your country. The oldest living shark, older than the USA. Bro, how is the shark older than the USA? I doubt the shark has been alive for 23 years. What? The Earth and US. I like how they say and USA. It's that important. I love Amsterdam. Dutch isn't even that difficult to learn. Thinking of moving here. Good pick, but it's Dutch, not Dutch. It's Dutch. They speak Dutch in the Netherlands. Dutch is the German's name in the German language. Dutch or Dutch is the same. Dutch is the American spelling and Dutch is English. You know how British use more letters for no reason? Okay, why did you bring us into it? What do we do? Imagine we leave NATO and get steamrolled by the rest of the civilized world. Wouldn't happen. We have enough military to take on the world at the same time and win. We simply choose not to conquer them. If every country joined forces, America would be doomed. I think if every country were to go against America, if that would ever happen, everyone would be doomed because there's a thing called nuclear bomb. Americans correcting English spellings. Okay, this is unironically me, but with some pronunciations from British English to American English. But it also doesn't help that sometimes I just pronounce words wrong. England doesn't speak English, they speak British. America speaks English. British is a nationality. I bought this stupid America ice cream, only to open it up and start laughing because it just occurred to me that it's the French flag. Eat the French. Germany has states? Hey, before before I answer this, can you let me know if you're American really quick? Yeah, I'm American. I just figured it doesn't make sense for smaller countries to be divided by states, since they're already the size of a state. Yep, that checks out. Laughs in European. Laughs in 20% income tax. I'd be freaking out if my clock was displaying nonsense numbers. You are aware that's a 24-hour clock, right? So it's just saying 11:36. I'm sorry if this isn't PC, but I don't care about the British customs. Yay, congrats. Thanks, we're so excited. Have you picked out any names? I'm pretty sure we're naming her Rifle. Pronounced like rifle. Oh. Without Googling, name something USA invented. The light bulb. Gas, nukes, internet, personal computing, iPhone, flight, car production. Basically everything that matters. It's amazing when people who don't live here care about American politics. Nobody cares about European politics. We are your heroes and gods. If they're gods, then they're Greek gods. Utterly useless in smashing this. Damn! This guy is definitely European. People in England don't realize their awful little country is only as big as Minnesota. Greg's in UK, over 2,450. Greg's in Minnesota, 0. I did not realize it was that big there. That is crazy. UK is just very small. Healthcare spending per capita. Literally all the medicine those countries use is developed here. You're welcome. It's funny to me that they've decided Americans are the only ones who might not realize they're foreigners. Let's be real. The only reason the world isn't actually America is because we don't want it. Apparently everyone wants to be American. Is nobody noticing the date says September of this year? It's 9th of January 2024. 0901 2024. Baby, that's not how you write a date. Traditional, they actually spoke like Americans until we won the revolution, and then they started faking an accent. Tariffs will finally bring some prices down, like the iPhone, Samsung phones. 1,000 to 1,200 is ridiculous. Apologies for the very personal question, but were you homeschooled by a pigeon? Americans seem to have finally invented vacation. Why millennials and Gen Z are taking micro-retirements and how you can do it too. Sorry, we're too busy working to pay for your defense. Can someone please tell me why British grocery stores sell this dangerous candy if it's illegal in almost everywhere? I think they're talking about Kinder eggs, but it's cropped out. I don't know why it's illegal. I think it's because some people choke on the toy inside. No way she didn't clean the chicken. Clean the chicken? Yeah, after taking it from the pack, rinsing it from the factory dirt, excess feathers, leftovers, etc. It's not recommended in the UK. I don't think that's recommended anywhere, because it just spreads bacteria everywhere. Yes, because the United States totally existed in the 11th century. No one says today is 14th of March. People say it's March 14th. Have you gone outside of the US? No. Also, why do we think of knights as being on horseback, when horses are from North America as well? There is no good reason why cashiers shouldn't be allowed to sit. Ah yes, let's promote laziness and pay people who want to be lazy more money. Oh no, working and sitting? How dare you? In Europe, there is no unwalkable cities. Every city is walkable. I mean, I think they kind of have a point. It is walkable, just will take you a long time, unless you're in the UK. In Europe, there's also restrictions on free speech, extremely high taxes, and a astounding lack of diversity. But hey, we can walk everywhere. My friend is hiring for his company, and this resume came in. Military spouse. Most hated countries. Would love to see some of these countries try to frick with us, USA. You're certainly not helping America's image with that statement. Don't worry guys, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm from UK. Genuinely, I just think it depends on the timeline. Like if this was asked 1,000 years ago, I think the votes would be very different. Maybe 2,000 years ago too. Trying to recreate going out for a nice coffee when you get back from Europe. Except Europe doesn't have nice coffee. It's all mixed with grains like wheat. Tastes like garbage. We basically have the same coffee. This is such a European type of question. Us Americans can body check 16 hours of driving like it's nothing, and still be in the state of Texas. Give us energy drinks and we'll push through 22 to 24 hours straight. Denmark isn't selling Greenland. Who said anything about selling? Denmark is a member of NATO. And who owns NATO? Nobody. I want to cry seeing American salaries. Seeing you guys talk so casual about a starter earning 50k a year, while in Europe, being a director would be lucky to get that. It's Euro poor for a reason. And a shame Canada is willingly going that route. I really want to go to Canada. Forget this meme, I want to go to Canada. I want to go skiing, but I don't want to be eaten by a bear. What are your thoughts on the buy from EU movement? Pretty useless considering how poor all you guys are. Maybe if you can get Americans in on it. The Office, Arabic version. They buy all the American shows, bring American artists, American shops. Zero creativity. It was originally a British show. Every American who goes to Europe on vacation and immediately loses 6 to 8 pounds wants to claim it's due to America's supposedly poorer food quality. My brother or sister in Christ, you're dehydrated. Bought for 8k, trying to sell it for 10k. What's the third pedal for? What's so evil about Celsius? Fahrenheit is more accurate than Celsius. Trump 2024. Those are Liberian flags. Wrong. Those are American flags. Rod Stewart fears we're too late to stop global warming. What does he care? He's not a US citizen. He's not affected. I thought the French flag was all vanilla. It irrationally annoys me that someone on this British train crossed plug sockets to Americanize it. I would laugh at this, to be honest. This is not that serious. How long until someone runs on the platform of food stamps for all? Yes, eating is a human right, you incredible loon. Can you say how much 10 milliliters is and 300 milliliters of water? I don't know why they can't say cups. Frustrating, because most of the world uses the metric system, and it's so easy to Google the conversation. 10 mil is 10 mil. I'm Italian and like SpaghettiOs. I guess my ancestors are not happy. There is no SpaghettiOs in Italy. You're just American. I don't understand mainland Italians saying we're not Italian. Do they pretend we can just delete our ancestry? For the record, my last Italian ancestor was born in 1903. I can still consider myself pretty Italian. An American critiquing food is hilarious. We got the best food in the world. No one goes to Europe for food. You guys don't have bad food, but I wouldn't say the best. I think every country has its own really good food, you know? Just don't make jokes about don't do it. Don't make jokes about UK. Don't do it. I know what you're thinking. They literally voted for tariffs to lower inflation. That's how dumb they are. We don't import food. Wait, in other countries you don't have to pay a hospital bill at all? I thought it was just cheaper, but no pay at all? That's so interesting. Well, in the UK, you don't have to pay a hospital bill. I guess it really depends on the injury and how quickly you need it fixed. But yeah, if you were to, I don't know, lose an arm and you went to A&E, yeah, it'd be free. Pretty sure. How do you prevent people from just jumping off stuff like idiots? Basic self-preservation instincts? Wait, the only reason you're not injuring yourself deliberately is money? Why are all world tours like this? Maybe 3 to... Because some of those countries don't have access to music streaming services, don't have venues to perform at. Some countries aren't as invested into music as the United States. No. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think it's to do with their audience and where most of their listeners are. English summer. I'm melting, it's so hot. Australian summer. It's a little hot today. I don't speak what alien temperature measuring system you use. Melbourne is closer to Antarctica than it is to Darwin. Not if you use miles instead of kilometers, but point taken. Everyone dissing the NFL, but they don't realize if America has their own national rugby team, we would wipe the floors. Bro, America does have a team. They lost 120-3 to New Zealand. Inform yourself. British plugs are awful, just like British people's teeth. This comment spits truth. England is a third world country now. I'd like to think my teeth are fine. We are 6% of the world's population, and 100% of the world depends on us. European colonial history in 6 words. Is that yours? It's mine now. Americans would never do this. We save nations, not destroy them. Really can't believe my Irish ancestors lived here and decided to move to Texas. The NFL is more largely watched than the EPL. Come on, man. What universe do you live in where this is true? Average NFL viewership per game is 17.4 million. English Premier League is 546. They're just comparing it. My sweet child. That 546,000 is just for US viewership on US channels, not global. There appears to be some confusion around this topic, so allow me to clear it up. Irish Americans are Irish. Actually, I would say we're more Irish than most natives. What country do you absolutely recommend avoiding in Europe during the summer? All of Europe. Too dangerous with all the riots, floods, earthquakes, typhoons, rebellions, thieves, and scammers. Also dangerous foods without EPA labels and traffic is just ending your life. Really, it's too dangerous. Stay in the US. No, gotta live a bit. Come to Europe. Anytime's fine. Depends which country though. I've been in Europe for 1 week, and their GDP per capita being half of the US immediately makes sense. Why just 1 week? Do you not get more vacation? I don't like how everyone from Europe claims they speak 4 languages. Everyone is saying rage, but he's just right. Dialects from coast to coast have the same amounts of variance as the different languages. Euro, Cope, and Seath. I can fit a couple of your countries in my one state. This public bathroom stall is built with actual walls and doors. Your clock counts wrong. It's 1 through 12. This was taken a while ago, if that's what you mean. No, your time says 17, and there's only 1 through 12 o'clock. Have you heard of basic 24-hour clocks? They have not. Is it really that hot even in winter in Australia? Another reason to never visit. Australia is a part of the southern hemisphere. It's summer right now. But isn't America in like the middle of the earth? So like the middle hemisphere so everywhere else copies? I'm so confused. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't even know what they're saying. Yeah, but anyone can look at me in the eye and say that they verbally read out dates like, it is the 7th of October, 2022. Like, no, you're saying it's October 7th, 2022. When is the American Independence Day? July 4th, which is how I hear the majority of people say it. 4th of July. I don't understand why Americans put the month first. Doesn't it make it easier if the day is first, since that's the most important piece of the info? Because we don't follow your colonial ways anymore. No. The date is what changes the most and is the hardest to keep track of. Then the month, then the year. Date, month, year is the most straightforward. You just grew up Europe with month, date, year, so you like it. America made so many changes just to be different. If you don't like it, we'll just nuke you. Italy is now the most infected country outside of China, but you can guarantee that people won't be avoiding pizza the same way they did with Chinese food. Pizza is American though. Europe is more walkable because it was built before cars. No, Europe is more walkable because it's socialist and therefore poor. What? Europeans can't afford anything while Americans can. Simple as that. Is this a foreign page? What do you mean foreign? This is the internet. If it's not in the USA, it's foreign. And to think that Europe didn't even have electricity until the Marshall Plan. Europe still doesn't have running water. Legit question, why, aside from China and North Korea, why don't other countries like Canada and Europe fly our flags? Don't they have a little bit of gratitude towards us? I love how they've got the... Love your profile picture, man. Really helps your comment. Them. I love the British accent. Me. Select your character. Cute. Your accents have so little drift that even to a layman's ear, they sound like all the same language. Come to America where our dialects are so different, some count as completely different languages. Still, the EU doesn't really have homegrown computer companies. At least none come to mind. But overall, I agree. Apple hardware isn't cheap, and Europeans have less disposable income than Americans. It's why you rarely see iPhones outside of Switzerland. They really think of Europe and think of Switzerland. Are you kidding? iPhones are everywhere in Europe. Italy, Spain, Germany, UK. At least we're not like Americans. USA. You know that if our best athletes played soccer, the US would win every game they ever played? You know that, right? You mean football? Ew. This clock shows time in the shadow based on the position of the sun. It would be cool if it worked in 12 hours. I'm American, can't read military time. Entire high school baseball team in Iowa kneels during national anthem. Everyone should be put in the Marines now. Good thing service is voluntary and your opinion doesn't matter. Who is wrongly portrayed as a hero? The USA. One day you're all gonna look back on the day when America was in charge as the good old days when you were prosperous and free, happy. But now you are under actual imperialism of Russia, Chinese, and Islamdom. Holy, what's happening to my voice? Countries that provide universal healthcare. Universal healthcare ain't it, chief? Sure, you get medical attention, but your doctor's an imbecile and more likely will harm than help you. Why do Brits speak English, an American language, rather than speaking some European language? Quick, the Americans are asleep. Post pictures of stuff that isn't expensive. Only because Americans pay for the healthcare of Europe. In the UK right now, a train is delayed as a cat is sitting on top of the roof and refusing to come down. It says West Coast on the front of the train. America. I get that Native Americans are upset. I get it. That being said, this country would not be what it is today if the actions of our past were not taken. What do you mean by that? They mean Native Americans should feel grateful that 90% of their population were exterminated because the remaining 10% get to live in poverty on reservations, while everyone else gets to enjoy Starbucks and Amazon Prime. Wait, is there another city called Rome that doesn't exist in Georgia, USA? I was watching Fox News and they mentioned Rome in Italy. I'm confused. Is there a Rome in Italy? Why are Americans such a loud presence on the internet? Like, I know there's 500 million of you, but damn, shut up. Offended by our patriotism? What, bad girl? Suffering from secondhand embarrassment, more like. Wait, other countries didn't have to sing their national anthem every day at school for 12 years? Hey, we use miles per hour in this country. Wheels is an Australian magazine. We use metric measurements. You're on the internet, which is American, therefore you can use the American best measurements. Number of Super Bowl wins by country. Number of World War I's by country. USA. All other countries, 0. Do you guys have refrigerators? Hi UK folks, my husband is from England and we have considered moving. No, we don't. In the UK we don't have fridges, no. As this guy perfectly put it, no, we put all of our perishable goods in a big hole in the garden to keep them cool. Did you know everything in British grocery stores is tax-free? The price you pay at the cashier is the price you see on the ticket. It's amazing. No thoughts, just Andrew Garfield's phone saying 2357. He uses the 24-hour time setting. People actually use that? Who knew? I don't even understand the 24-hour time. People have tried to explain it to me. I even looked it up and I still don't get it. Woman builds a house out of bricks. Why not just frame it out like a normal person? No idea where this is located, but in many developing nations, they build with brick and steel and reinforced concrete because they don't have the lumber industry we have in the West. Though I'd be concerned she's not mortaring between the bricks, only dipping it lightly in some sort of adhesive. Seems a bit fragile. I got no clue. In 2016, a guy hijacked an Egyptian airline with explosives packed to him. A British man on board asked for a picture with the hijacker as it was happening. An American would have subdued the man and rendered him unconscious. Big difference. I think this guy was trying to play the nice guy role, make a friend and hope he didn't explode the whole plane. I mean, they did live to tell the tale. And I don't think I would try to subdue a guy with a bunch of explosives attached to him. Maybe, just maybe, I could try and knock him out, like taking a photo. Bang! Right hook to the head. But I don't know. It'd be quite risky. You gotta be confident that you're gonna hit him. Is it worth the risk? I don't know. Healthcare isn't a human right. I'm not paying the bill for some turd that habitually abuses their own body and uses EMS like it's a taxi service. At least American toilets aren't just holes in the ground. You realize America isn't the only developed country, right? Basically, all of Europe has a much better educational system and normal plumbing. No, we just pee and poop in holes. He's right. Wrong. Italians don't put mayo in their sandwiches. That's not true. We do in some occasions. You think you know more than literal Italians? Dude, I live surrounded by Italians. Staten Island doesn't ring a bell. The entire UK is like decades behind in terms of technology and innovation. They rather do everything the old way and claim it's better. What's wrong with not calling things by the name of a company that makes them? Except we're not. We had contactless payment before you. I remember that. They called it a breakthrough and the payment of future, and we had it for like 5 years. I remember when Apple Pay was getting introduced. I love Apple Pay. How do people pronounce LaCroix? It's not French. It's from Wisconsin and named after, I don't know, anything to do with pronunciations? Hey, I take my hat off, okay? I got no clue. Not necessarily welding related, but for those of you not in the US, who has the metric system? When you say how much gas you have left in your car, do you say, oh, I only have a quarter tank of gas left? Or do you say, oh, I only have, well, we actually say how many miles we have left. Oh, I have 25 miles. I have 30 miles. Not really how much, we don't really use gas or like petrol for that. I don't know. In 2006, Sony covered an entire apartment complex in Scotland with 70,000 liters of paint for a commercial. All that effort, then they misspell the one word in the whole ad. Do you know what this just reminded me of? This is very, very, very random. Probably the most random thing I can say in a video. This reminds me of Cloudy and the Chance of Meatballs. You know, the Honey Hotel or the Honey House? Yeah, this is what it reminds me of. Wish it was real.